Hi, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Yes, and I'd like to dedicate this Pepper's Echo stream to a good man, a good friend, a good person, Schalk Wolmerans, who was called home last Saturday morning. And because I'm using actually his memorial service as a basis for this Pepper's Echo, I'd like to dedicate the stream to a giant that has fallen, in Pastor Carl Bear's own words. Okay. Hello. Hello, Linda. Always lovely to see you. It's good that you're not on night shift again, but welcome to Pepper's Echo. My name's Andre. And yeah, hopefully we can chat today. As you are well aware, I have tried, and today I didn't even open up news and reviews and things like that. So yeah, I hope things are keeping well with you at home, Linda, and that everybody is doing fantastically well, and that life has just dealt you a rose, a handful of daisies. I really do hope so because it's it's needed in these days and times. It really is. Sometimes you just want some daisies. But let's get over. For those of you watching live, thank you very, very much for watching live. For those of you who are watching on the rerun, thank you very, very much for tuning into Pepper's Echo to watch on the rerun. May I ask that you please like and subscribe? It's the only way that I can get my videos out here. I'm not going to do too many changes to my whole show at the moment. I thought, oh, we need to like the background or something like that. But good news is we are moving to a house. So I don't have to have my studio in my bedroom anymore, and that I can have a whole room because I'm moving from a one-bedroom apartment to a three-bedroom villa. Now that sounds wonderful, but when I actually say villa, it's like little cluster homes, and they are both connected. But it has a small yard as well. But I have three bedrooms upstairs, and it has a large lounge dining room. Ah, wonderful! You have 4 days on the Vol. Wonderful. There's nothing like days next to the river. And you deserve it too, because wow, you have been working super hard of late. And you know what's appreciated about you is you've never forgotten the small people, the smaller things, the less significant, like a Pepper's Echo. And today, I'm actually going to be talking about people like you. And excuse me, things that cause us stress in life and that. So yeah, I try and Pepper's Echo. I've tried to just work against things with life, and you know, and I'm doing exactly the same probably today as what I spoke about 2 weeks ago. Is afraid to be happy because I got so much to be happy for. I've actually got overjoyedness to be able to go. I mean, I've had a promotion at work. I've been able to get a house. We've been able to start putting away an investment to actually have something. Because right now, if I die or if I have to get retrenched or I got to go on pension, I got nothing. I might as well die, which isn't a really good thought. So, you know, everything has happened. I have two beautiful kids, furry kids here at home, and I love them to bits, and they are absolutely unconditional. Best reason to come home every day is my wife and my two furry kids. Work is hard, but it is not undoable. What's the word I'm looking for? it's not it's not impossible. But so yeah, you tend to want to walk around and go, what's going to go wrong? Yeah, you know what? I'm never going to get that. And then develop an absolute ulcer about it. Well, I'm afraid that that ulcer is going to have to just subside for a while because I got to be happy about these things. I mean, I got 2 weeks, then we're moving. Three bedrooms, lovely bottom part, two bathrooms, place for the little furry kids to play outside as well. I'm really, really stoked about it. First time in 3 years. We've been living in a one-bedroom apartment for 3 years. So, wow, you know what? Before I actually go on to today's topic, and today's topic that I've brought up is it's okay to be the reason and not the hero. In this day and life, we cannot field every single person a hero, but we cannot be without the reason. But before I get to that, I actually want to just bring up this blessed, #blessed thing. Because I truly feel blessed. As I said, you know what? I don't want to make this a purely Christian-based program or stream or something like that, because some people may be offended, although I don't think that you should be, because I'm trying to adapt it to life as such. But I've never denied the fact that I am Christian. And I have tried to actually step my life up a little bit to be good. I mean, if I take a look at the dedication of some other religions, and I think, well, geez, if we could only place that in our own, how much better would it be? But that's for another day as well. And maybe we can get, we should be getting Pastor Carl Hubert on one of these Sundays as well, so we can ask him that. But one thing, this #blessed thing, I truly do feel blessed. I think that what I've been doing and how I've been trying to put my life together and seeing the blessings that are coming in from that, and being able to turn around and say, wow, thank you for these blessings, and to turn around and say, well, you know what, I'm really blessed. And I think it's more important for me to be able to say that, to acknowledge that. You can say, I'm really fortunate. You can say, I'm really taken care of. You can say, but I feel blessed. And the other day, I actually said it in someone's presence. I didn't say something afterwards. I left it because it's, you know what, it's not something that I want to actually make a big shebang about. But I did feel a little hurt when I said, wow, you know what, we've just been so blessed. And the person said, oh, well, please just don't say blessed. Really, you know what, it's such a cliche of everybody #blessed. You know what, I am just so blessed. And I thought, it's really sad that if you get to society that has now turned being blessed into a cliched meme hashtag. And you know what, I've seen a comedian show called #blessed, because, and it was all a ripoff of everyone, you know what, the rich and shameless or famous or whatever, going, oh, you know what, I am so blessed, and it's a blessing, and they whether they mean it or not is not for us to say, because we cannot be judged. But all of a sudden, it's become a #cliche. Is it that people are too afraid to say it, and when it does get said, it's now cliched? Because I truly feel blessed in a genuine way. I feel that I have been blessed by my Lord and my Savior. It might be, if you're not a Christian, you might have another belief, but you might feel blessed by your deity. Should you not be able to say that either? I think you should, without the hashtag on it. I think it's really so important. I was watching this morning. I was actually fortunate enough to actually get a channel that I could actually watch the boxing on, and it was Wilcox, I think it is, or Willard, or whatever, against Tyson Fury. And he hasn't lost at all yet, and this new guy hasn't lost either. He's a pretty strong guy, and Tyson Fury's that was is it Wilcox or Willard? I'm not going to go and look it up now. But I immediately liked the Willard guy because he was there, not the Willard guy, the Tyson Fury chap. I'm not a huge sports fanatic, so I don't know these guys. I'm not like heroes to me or anything like that. But, you know, first of all, Tyson Fury went to, I think it's Willard or Wilcox, and he said, I think it's Willard, and he went to him and he wanted to, like, good luck, and he was just not interested. He was just like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to kill you. But this guy, they call him the Gypsy King. He's from the UK. Willard was USA. And he came in with his entourage, and he had like a gypsy type of entourage with what's it, Greek chariot type of thing. He had the music and everything. And then he got to the ring and he put up his cap. Jesus. I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. I wonder if he was paid to do that or what. But I thought, I really liked that. 12 rounds, heavyweight boxing champion this morning. Very, very good fight. Those guys handed it out to each other like you'll not believe. Each one, I think, landed the other onto the canvas twice. In the 11th round, Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King from the UK, won with a knockout. He just seemed to have it and keep going and keep going and keep going. And when he finished, oops, he put his cap on again. Oh, that's cool. That's really, really cool. Then the commentator said to him, so what do you got to say? And, well, first of all, before you saw anything, when they'd finished winning, he got his team around him, and there they sat and they prayed. I thought, that's really good. And then when he got his mic handed to him, he said, well, what do you think? How did it go? And he said, well, I'd first like to thank my Lord and Savior for carrying me through this fight and helping me to. And yeah, sorry, not Willard, Wilder. Linda, you're one ahead of me and you just make me look like an absolute noodle. But thank you very much. It was Wilder. And he said thank you to his God first, which was wonderful, that you still have people that can be as tough as him. And yes, I don't think he's got any losses, but he's a tougher. And I was fortunate enough to actually get to see this fight because I don't get to see much sports here in Cambodia where I am. Hopefully with these new channels that I'm getting, I'll be able to see them. Wilder, yeah, thank you. Willard Wilcox, what a wally I am. Yeah, anyway. But you know what? That just made me feel that it's good to be able to stand up for things. Sometimes you do find people. I know the other boxer, Manny Pacquiao. I have quite a bit of time for him. Don't know too much, but it was just a couple of things that stood out that has happened to me over the last few days or the last week where I've had someone say, please don't say blessed. And I thought, that's not very, very nice of you. And then I had this happen to me with the boxing, and I thought, well, that's pretty cool. That's really pretty cool. But anyway, today I looked at as you see, I've dedicated this stream to Schalk Wolmerans, a good friend, a good man. I met him in church in Alberton, and we connected because he rode motorcycle as well. And he wasn't a biker, but he enjoyed the adventure of going out on his bike. He didn't belong to a club. He didn't wear a leather cut or leather jacket. He had a nice GS motorcycle and he liked the adventure. And I really enjoyed going for rides with him because we went to interesting places. We'd go to the Boscombe base or we'd go off to Cullinan, and we went down to, not Clan William, not Ceres. Linda, where do you go from Johannesburg? Nice little place there just through the anyway, I'll get to that as well. But we used to ride all over the place, and that was really, really nice. And there was nothing too great for him to ever do, but he never claimed any fame for anything. You never heard his name, saw him, knew of him, heard of him. He was probably the most humblest soul. When we were together, he would never down anybody. He would never speak about anybody badly. It was, when we get together, it's like, oh, you know this one does that and that and that. And, ooh, you should have seen this Oki yesterday. Oh, yeah, and can you believe what this one said? And, oh, my goodness me, that one has given me such lip. And that one, ooh, did you see her? It's amazing. No, not Dillstrom. Something with a Clarence with a C. Clarence, sorry, something with a C. Clarence. We go down to Clarence, Maluti Mountain Lodge. We stayed there. If you ever go to Clarence and you stay at Maluti Mountain Lodge, you go and say hello to Dan Ladechon. He owns it over there. Fabulous chap as well. But so Schalk, I actually thought what a loss. I actually should have a bracelet made, and then instead of the WWJD, I would like put in WWSD, like what would Schalk do? And then I thought, no, don't do that, because people just misinterpreted what would Satan do or something. You know what social society is like these days. So, just keep it in your heart and remember a good man. But it was actually on Thursday afternoon, these days with technology, memorial service for him that came up. And they spoke about him. And the minister, so Pastor Carl, he's on yes ever so often, said, you know what, he couldn't figure out what to say about Schalk. And then it came across him. Now, most of you, Christian or non-Christian, have heard of David and Goliath, and have heard of King David and the great achievements and the battles won. And obviously the most important one is the Goliath that David slayed. But he had prosperity throughout his life. He became king, and you name it, he was the front man. David was what you would call a hero. King David. Well, what you never got to hear about was Jonathan. Jonathan was actually, I think, Saul's son. And growing up with David in the castle, he became David's friend. And he actually, at one stage, shares a part where he took his armor and he gave him his armor and he gave him his sword and he gave him his tunic and everything to that effect. And he was always in the background looking after David. When Saul was all upset and he wanted to kill him, he said, don't worry, I've spoken my father out of it. Then he threw a fit, and then he said there was the story of where he took him and he put him in hiding, and he said, I'll go back and see. And then, you know, if he still wants to kill you, I'll fire an arrow and my servants will go and pick them up. And if I fire an arrow and they don't pick them up, it means you can come back. But if they go and pick them up, it means he's still unhappy. And of course he was. And so that's how David went in hiding. But Jonathan always had a lookout for him. And so throughout all his life, Jonathan has always been in the background. However, very few people know about the hero Jonathan. But they know about the hero David. So I said, you know what, that is phenomenal, because let's take a look at it this way. Most of us these days, and I'm not saying we're narcissist. I'm not saying anyone's narcissist at all. But these days, we tend to want some form of credit. We work, you know what, I want it to be my credit. If I work on this, it's me. You know what, if I do this job, it's my job done. It's well done, Andre. You know what, and please, somebody's got to see me working. They can't think that I'm not working. I've got to do this. And you know what, how many times do people say, all I want is a thank you? You know, I want to thank you from the world. I want to thank you from my boss. I want to thank you from my supervisor. I want to thank you from my colleagues. I want to thank you from my parents. I want to thank you from my pastor. I want to thank you from my wife. I want to thank you from my husband. I want to thank you from whoever, my colleagues, whatever. I want to be noticed. I want to be seen as somebody doing something. So that's why I say you don't necessarily have to be looking at being a hero, but you're definitely wanting something. We all work for, as I said, not narcissism, not the limelight, but we all want to be the hero. We all want to be acknowledged. We all have that need. It forms part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs almost. But and we put a lot of pressure on ourselves in this way because we are not happy. We are anxious to be noticed. And when you're not noticed, you are hurt. You are down. You are depressed. Some things like, they don't care for me. I'm not loved. I don't have what I'm needing. I am I don't know if you understand where I'm coming with this, because like, oh, Andre, you know what? I'm quite okay with not being around. Then it's fine. But somewhere along the line, we want acknowledgement. It's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We need to be acknowledged. We need to be seen. We need to be the reason for success. We need to be the success. We need to be the hero. And all I'm saying is that sometimes we don't need to be the heroes. We need to be the reason that the heroes are successful. We need more people like a Jonathan. We need more people. How many people, and I know now and again, especially in COVID time, there's been a little bit of a post on Facebook or whatever, but how many times, what's the most important thing? I'm sick, I'm going to see a doctor. I am sick, I'm going to hospital. The doctors were going to look after me. The doctor saved my life. The doctor sorted out everything. Okay, the doctor is my hero. And I know they've posted it a little bit on Facebook now, whatever. But let's talk about a lot of nurses. If I wasn't prepped properly, if I wasn't looked after properly, if I wasn't monitored properly, if I wasn't taken care of, even though I was a grumpy piece of sandpaper in the hospital, not that I am, I'm actually quite a nice guy, just by the way. But, you know, if that nurse didn't do everything, and that nurse didn't go into that operating theater, and she wasn't handing the right tools to the doctor and maybe checking what he's done as well at the same time. I saw a thing the other day on a doctor who said, you know what, I have done nothing. It's my nurse that has done everything, because I have been through 24 hours where my nurses told me what to do and handed things to me what to do, knew exactly what to do. All I did is what my nurse told me to do, and with her, I am nothing. You'll get those who will differ. And I'm not saying that a doctor isn't a hero, and I'm not saying that they don't. But what I'm saying is there are many reasons that a doctor is a hero. There's the cleaner who makes sure that everything is clean, spick and span, sterilized, that the places that you work in, that the people who do the paperwork, to make sure we know what we're doing. Everybody seems to still work for an acknowledgement. Why does no one say, thank you? You know what? I just did so much, and this is, and I've got all of this to do, and it's absolutely just, you know, and I've really got to do this, and I've got to get this done. I've got to get this done. I've got to walk to my boss's office and say, well, boss, you know what? I'm busy with this, and I'm going to get that done and that done and that done, and I'm going to work on this and this and this. Call me if you need anything. And boss walks by, and I'm just busy with this over here, remember? And, you know, you're always so busy because you need to, you feel if you're not, you're useless, and people will look down on you. The lady in accounting that puts the numbers and crunches the numbers together so that the account manager who closes the deal is given a handshake and says, well done, Jim, you've got those numbers down to a T. What about the lady in accounting? She didn't get it. Big company cracks deal, but what about the people that worked on that deal? That's what we see heroes. Isn't this what we see heroes as most of the time? Some dude over there, forgotten his name, motivational dude, Oprah, Walt Disney, Steve Jobs, Anthony Robbins, sorry. Dude, I'm not too sure about this guy over here now as well. Heroes. Every single one of those heroes has a reason behind them, has many reasons behind them. Linda says, we are all cogs in a well-oiled machine. If one fails, the whole machine fails. Yeah, Linda, that's true. Linda works in the medical industry and is one of the reasons that there are heroes and success. Well done. But these guys, Steve Jobs, Walt Disney, Oprah, just said his name, Anthony Robbins, and I know some other good guy there. They've all got people that work with them. Steve Jobs just didn't become the top Apple. There were many people planting seeds and growing those trees. Walt Disney had so much behind him. Oprah doesn't book her own people. It gets done for her. Everything gets done for her. But in the end, it is Oprah. Anthony Robbins. If you ever seen a program, I don't know if the documentary is still on Netflix, called I'm Not Your Guru. You take a look at that motivational week that they go to Hawaii or somewhere like that. Fiji, I don't know. You take a look at the teams. He doesn't even take people himself. He has teams that they go out with these people that actually do the looking after and the motivating. And there are teams in there, and there's a guy doing music, and he makes sure that everybody's hyped up so that when Anthony Robbins gets on the stage, everybody is so adrenaline filled that he doesn't really need to do it much more than fart, and everyone's going to cheer him on. They have people that look in the crowd and goes, well, you know what, this lady over here, she's got this and this problem. Okay, we'll talk to her. This and this, oh, no, she's an attention seeker. We're not going to do that one. This and this lady over there, we go, okay, we'll do that one. So when you go into the crowd, they've already picked for him and taken out the people so that he can be a successful motivator and change in that program. All the reasons there are to make this man, this woman, this man a hero. And you know what I want to say is, behind every winner, there are sidekicks. There are reasons. I want to say that it's okay. It's okay to be the reason that somebody's a winner. Just take a look behind every winner. There's a whole lot of reasons that do not get recognized. Your recognition doesn't always come necessarily from your work, from your world. If you can feel it in you, if you can put a little bit of contentment in your body, if I can put it this way, it's okay to be a sidekick. There we go. We're normal, mad, happy-go-lucky. Be happy to be a sidekick. You don't have to be the top dog. You don't have to be in shining light. You don't have to be the thank you guy. Yes, I know you do thankless work sometimes, but make it that you sleep well at night. That what I do makes a difference to this world. Whether it be an accounting deal, whether it be visiting an old age home. Let me give you some things that many people didn't know about Schalk. He used to go out to an old age home. He used to shuttle the old age people to work or to vote. He used to go and push them out for rides on a days that he visited with a wheelchair. And that was his passion. Yeah, and that's all. It's his passion. Nobody said thank you. Nobody knew about it even. He didn't like, well, you know what? I've got to go and do my job at the old age home now, and I've got to go and arrange this now, and et cetera, et cetera. He just did it. And I think if so much more, and he was a happy person. He was happy inside. He made things happen. He made areas happen for functions. He made tents appear for functions. He made it possible for people to go on church camps and things. You know, he made so much possible that you wouldn't know about, that you might just get to hear about somewhere along the line, and he didn't want to know that you heard about it, and he didn't want to thank you for it. Because for him, the privilege was in being able to do it. And if so many of us can just realize, I'm not saying that you need to not be thanked. Just a couple of behind the scenes. Designers, builders, researchers, All those magic scientists that came up with the absolute magic clue, do you think they didn't have how many lab assistants and researchers behind them? The architects that built the fantastic buildings, who planned them and who built them? Reasons. It's okay to be the reason. Now, I don't know the band so well, but if you do, these are ordinary looking people, but it's actually Hoobastank. They're heroes to some people. But it's the only one that I found with normal looking people that said, it's okay to be a reason. It is dead okay to be a reason. I don't want to harp on about things, and I think half an hour is more than enough for Pepper Zeka. But what I want to say to you is, what you do is important. What nurses do is important. What firemen do is important. What policemen do is important. What accountants do is important. What a receptionist does is important. What office ladies does is important. There are so many things that are important, but they are not hero jobs. They are not the success. Saul Kersner was the success hotel magnate, made of many successful people, made of many reasons for that success below him. And we so badly work just for our boss's acknowledgement, just for the customer's acknowledgement. Just sometimes just know that what you've done in your heart is good enough for upstairs. I don't know, there was a thing that I read somewhere that, you know what, it eventually comes out what you do. But what I'm trying to say is we stress ourselves out. No one's saying about that. No one said about that. I wonder what they think about this. I wonder, this is what I so often do. I wonder if I spoke too much there. I wonder if I said the right thing. I should have said this. I shouldn't have said this. Shut up. Do the right thing. And do it for integrity's sake. Not the reason. Not the hero. Be the reason. It's okay. You are needed. You are needed so that people can succeed, so that life can go on. You are needed to make a difference. Not necessarily make the success, but to make the difference for the success. I want to bring up Linda's saying over there. I want to expand it to everybody. We all are cogs in a well-oiled machine. If one fails, the whole machine fails. I think we know that. I think it's the heart with which we do it, the pressure that we put ourselves under to do it, and the rejection we feel is sometimes what doesn't help us mentally. When no one has batted an eye in my direction, and I've worked my butt off at school for 3 or 4 weeks or whatever, and you just feel that you're in trouble all the time. I feel rejected. I feel unloved. I feel unwanted. You know what? I've got to the point once or twice before I've gone and I said, look, guys, if you're not happy with what I do, please do me a favor and just let me know up front. I will happily resign. You don't have to find a reason to work me out. And then people look at me and go, what are you talking about? You know, so before you actually start feeling like a failure because you're not getting the pat on the back, because you're not getting the picture in the paper, because you're not getting the handshake, maybe because you're not getting the raise that you're looking for. I mean, I just take a look at our teachers and I listen to the complaints. And I know they're good people, because to be able to do a teaching position, you need to have a heart of gold. You've got to have some kind of heart there, especially if you've been there for a long time. You need to have a heart. And oh man, the complaints that go, it's like, oh, you such whingers, such ungrateful whingers. But I know somewhere there's good in them, because they've been teaching for so long. And it is so important that somewhere we find contentment in our lives. And I'd like to cover a lot more of this contentment. But the important part is, yeah, it is okay to be the reason. Find contentment with being the reason. Find solitude, happiness, contentment within yourself for knowing that you are not the superhero, but you are the reason that there are superheroes. And that's good enough. That is good enough. That is good enough to go to sleep tonight. That is good enough not to give yourself unnervingly unsleeping or non-sleeping awake nights. And you know what, guys? Once again, I talk to you about these things because these are things in everyday life that I realize and that wakes me up, and I see, and it's things that I suffer from too. And I bet you that it's not ladies that just suffer from this; it's guys that suffer from this. He hasn't spoken to me. I haven't heard anything. I don't know if I'm doing a good enough job. Well, you must be, because everybody's accepting it. Oh, people are much quicker to point out your faults than to congratulate you these days. You're working hard at something. Well, there we go. So-and-so got the paycheck for it. So-and-so got the bonus for it. I still don't. It's okay. You were the reason. We're not all cut out to be heroes. Not because we can't, but because they're important cogs in that main wheel that you need to be. Guys, forgive those that do not thank you. Do not slap them. Do not give them space inside your head. What's Ronaldo Gous always say? I live rent-free in your head because it bothers you. Don't let them live rent-free in your head because they bother you. Know that what you do to the best of your ability, and that there are people that know that there is someone that looks after you, and that your reward will come. But as long as your heart is humble and you found contentment within yourself, that what you do is good enough, that you don't need the hype, that you don't need the handshake. Of course, we all want that. And of course, it's fantastic when it does come. I'm not saying don't be grateful when it comes and don't be happy. Allow yourself to be happy, as we've said before. But allow yourself to be happy being the reason. It's okay and it's good. And so many of us are reasons, but so many of us are unhappy reasons. So many of us are stressed out reasons. So many of us are grumpy reasons. So many of us are angry reasons. So many of us are building up so much resentment as reasons. Because we bring it on ourselves. We're not the hero. We're not the success story. We're not on the thank you side. Guys, if you're a reason, I thank you. We're all good reasons, though. So that's a good thing. So before you start off saying, it's okay to be a reason, be a good reason. We're good reasons. And we're happy to be the reasons. And you know what? When I go to sleep at night, it's okay to be a reason. I don't have to put anybody else rent-free into my mind. What will happen will happen. But don't make 20 things a priority of happening and only 2 happen, because you're dealing with 20 and 2 becomes impossible then. But when 2 happen, you'll deal with it. I have something happening tomorrow that's stealing my peace, and I should actually move it aside because I know I will deal with it tomorrow and there's nothing I can do now. But the one thing that I learned from a memorial service is that I've never seen a more admired, content man for being a reason. May you find that contentment, that happiness, that joy, and move all resentment, anger, bitterness, depression, sadness, rejection out of your life for being a reason. Be a good reason. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I salute you for being a reason. And yeah, take care. Be good. And if you can't be good, be kind. Cheers.